Hello friends, this is Luke, the director of the yoga school, and I'm going to introduce you to Module 4. Module 4 essentially makes an assumption that at this point you kind of know what you're doing, and it goes into the legend of Krishnamacharya and his teachings and teachers and offshoots and variations. So even though you look at the topics in the study, you think it's super vast, you'll find that by Module 4 and 5 we're actually really getting into a concise structure so that you can then kind of move forward in your own style, as it were. So we'll look at Krishnamacharya, his books that he wrote and his teachings, and we'll look at his teachers that are prominent and affected this school. So the Ashtanga Yoga School that I was a student at was in Seattle, was founded by David Garrigues, and that school of course was influenced mostly by Ashtanga and Pattabhi Jois, but it was also influenced by the Iyengar tradition. And I personally was influenced by what's commonly called Vinaya Yoga or the Desikachar tradition. And so it's kind of nice. It looks like a lot of different topics, but I think we'll find in the training that these teachers all have a very common core in the Krishnamacharya systems. We will look at the classic Ashtanga system, which was taught by Krishnamacharya, earlier in the early 1900s, in the 20s and 30s. So we will look at that, or the legend of the Yoga Kurunta, as it were, and we'll look at Yogamala and the Ashtanga tradition as it exists then and today in Mysore. We'll look at the Desikachar tradition. So we'll look at TKV Desikachar and what that part of the lineage has done as far as philanthropy and moving forward yoga as somewhat of a humanitarian effort, and just the really great things that they've done with yoga. And then VKS Iyengar, of course, it's really, the training would not be the same without Iyengar. To be totally frank with you, if we came in here and we just did what a lot of Ashtanga studios do, we just wouldn't have enough material. The Iyengar system gives us a lot of expansive, props and alignment cues and details that are really, really important for an in-depth study like this. And of course, the Ashtanga Yoga School and the Garrigues method and the way that school and the way that David teaches is very much utilitarian, and that, like, what's the best way to get something done. And so this very non-dogmatic approach coupled with the structure of the Krishnamacharya lineage, as it were, gives us a nice combination of having a succinct lineage and a system, but also quite a bit of sort of random fruit trees that we can pull from to get different methods to help us through. So that this part of the training, I think, is a lot of fun. There's a lot of great discussions that happen. It's not a good time for us to be dogmatic. It's a great time to be open-minded and saying, well, why did Ashtanga do it this way? What was their purpose for that? And why did the Desikachars do it this way? Why did Iyengar look at it this way? And we'll investigate that and just allow ourselves some space to look into that as we move forward into more challenging postures that require longer hold times, a lot of straps, props, alignment cues, intricate postures such as inversions, headstands, shoulder stands, as well as back bending. So we'll look at the intermediate series of Ashtanga. So we'll look at Shalabhasana, Kapotasana, and several of the more dangerous, if you will, back bends in Ashtanga, and take a look at those. We'll also be doing adjustments on those postures. and then an exam for Module 4 at the end, which is wonderful. This is your overview for Module 4. It's definitely when it's getting towards the place where you're getting pretty well-rounded in your knowledge.